Yeah, G23 has quit the 2A. Got too difficult, not profitable enough. So we're gonna run a tactical quiz. Work it right over his show. All right. So now, whoa, now you shouldn't hear any more of that background music. So nobody's showing up to actually play. So we're just gonna go play some other tactical quizzes here from old, used out, worn out tactical quizzes. Patreons get the new stuff. Patreons win loot. Patreons don't want to win nothing. Then I don't care. Then I get just keep my loot, hoard it, and then we'll just play old, used up tactical quizzes with the people that show up. So let's dig in. We got a whole bunch of them here. Does somebody want to pick one? We got basic firearms quiz, Second Amendment quizzes, Second Amendment organizations, shooting range knowledges, gun movies, state of gun laws, Red Dawn. What country of origin is this Kalashnikov? That might be too much for a lot of you. Some people can probably get to that one. Guns and Movies 1984, Guns and Movies 1986, Ammunition, Gunsmithing 1, Gunsmithing 2, not necessarily more difficult, just a second one. A lot of these you can see were played live on past editions of the Daily Gun Show back in the day. There's no basic. Basic would be, oh, I guess there's a basic. All right, so here we go, basic firearms quiz. Why did that take so long to open? Why? Because I'm on crappy internet. Is my internet even working right now? This is shitty internet. I hate this internet. This is the new internet, by the way. The good internet, the old internet is working, so I'm about to jump back to it. This is how slow the new internet is. When you pull a trigger on a semi-auto firearm, what happens? Anyone? Anyone? See how boring this is without actual players? This is super boring. This is like watching a kindergarten class go backwards. This is like watching a kindergarten class walk backwards uphill in January. Is that a thing? That'd be the slowest thing ever. It fires? Wrong. We can't even play it this way because it's not even designed to be played this way. It's designed to be played in a much faster pace with consequences and stakes, high stakes. What gun is nicknamed the Chicago typewriter? Is it the H&K MP5? The Sterling, which I wrote stealing in here for some reason. You know what? You get to watch me edit this. So nobody shows up, then I get to edit my quiz because this is the kind of stuff I do and I got nothing else to do. I got other things to do, but not while I'm live right now. So I'm going to go edit since no one's showing up. So here's the deal. Patreons able to show up anytime they want, play the tactical quiz. We have real quizzes that are fun. Well, you can see we've had dozens of them already. But I'm trying to find a place in this time slot where when Patreons are available to play, right? Because for some reason they're not available to play at midnight on Wednesdays. So we're trying to find a time when Patreons will show up and play. So until then, we're just showing some old tactical quizzes. You can go play these at tacticalquiz.com because it's free, because our Patreons make it possible for us to do what we're doing. And the consequences, the residuals of that are whole bunches of websites out there you can play with if you want. We encourage you to use these in your quizzes, or what am I trying to say, in your live chats. If you're watching a live chat and they're bored and they're not doing anything good, tell them to head over here and get their conversation going again. So Thompson, number 3. Yes, Thompson, that's right. A great place to start or grow an ammunition collection is the local shooting range, local gun shows, or local gun shops. Which of these local places is the great place to start or grow an ammo collection? Yep, it's all of the above. All of them. You can go to the shooting range and collect stuff that hasn't been didn't work right. That'll happen. Duds, that kind of thing. If they'll let you. Sometimes they don't want you messing with that. But some places don't care. And then look on the ground when you go to the range. A lot of people shoot all kinds of interesting things. Gun shows? Come on, man. That's where you go get all kinds of collectibles, especially collectible ammunition. You can find ammunition that just some sucker has, doesn't know how old it is or how cool it is, and you can buy it off of them for pennies on the dollar. Almost every single gun show. Gun shops? Come on, man. That's where all ammo starts from, is the gun shops. It's invented and created by the gun shop owners, and then it gets distributed to the world. That's why they hate gun shops so much. So of course you can find good ammo at gun shops. Go to gun shops where most people don't go, and then guess what? You find stuff that most people don't know is there. Next is the most important part of firearm safety is it the trigger? Is it the muzzle? Is it the safety mechanism, I guess? Or is it the shooter? Food does come from Walmart. That's where you can tell. They shove boxes into one side. Those boxes are converted into products, and then those products come out from the doors. In the back of every Walmart is a box converter. It turns the boxes that the trucks feed Walmart into products that come out the doors. It's not magic, it's just science. The shooter, hippies. All right, next, who has the ability to yell ceasefire at a shooting range? Would it be only the range officers who are trained by the NRA and one of the organizations that's tiny compared to the NRA but think they're just as good? Or is it anyone who sees, and I spelled sees, SEESS, just to make it extra special? Maybe there's going to be a quiz in here about where my typos are. Anyone who sees a safety issue or a dangerous situation, or the actual answer, only a sheriff or police officer, someone who's trained and ordained by the state, deemed better than the rest of us by the state, that they know more than us, they're safer than us, they're wiser than us, and they know about safety more than everybody else. You're right, it is all of the above. Anybody can yell ceasefire if you see something dangerous. What is James Bond's pistol manufacturer? Is this a trick question? Or is it Beretta, the oldest manufacturer in the world, Colt, the inventor of the revolving percussion gun, Sig Sauer, a gun nobody likes, or Walther, a guy's name? Kingpin, good choice. Walther. Somebody, sounds like somebody's already taken this quiz and maybe even won the quiz before. What invention is Samuel Colt most known for? The Gatling gun, the revolving revolver, the semi-auto revolving pistol, or the shotgun revolver? The Wallet? Nope. Do you know what Colt did in the rest of his time? He didn't have eyeballs. I didn't draw eyeballs onto people. This was one of my first drawings of a person when I first decided to start doing this for the one of the playing card decks, and I didn't know how to draw eyeballs. I decided eyeballs weren't necessary, and I didn't draw them. So what are you gonna do about it? You're right. It is the revolving revolver. He's seen some boat that he was on, and he decided, I'm going to make a gun that's just like the boat in that it locks the cylinder to the bore of the barrel, so that it doesn't just kind of wobble around. All of them before that wobbled around. Oh, you got it all wrong. 42%. So I only answered what the people out there were asking, and 42%. I'm not saying you did badly. I'm just saying you failed, and you're not going on to the next grade level. It's all right. It's you can blame the schools. Nowadays, it's hip and trendy to blame the schools for everything. So just blame your school. When you pull the trigger, it's supposed to fire, eject, and load on a semi-auto. So it fires, ejects, and then loads in that order. It doesn't do anything in a different order. A great place to start a collection is all of the above. You shouldn't have picked gun shops. Let's see. You didn't even answer this one. You didn't even answer this one. And then you got this one right. Was that even 10? That was 7 questions. That's how basic it is. It's for people that can't handle 10 questions. We'll take a palate cleanser here and we'll jump into quick battle of wars. So I got a lot of wars over here. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on this. Hours and hours and hours. This is one of the things I'll do when I'm sick of doing other things that are important and can quickly whip out a few ways to challenge. What is this, a Star Wars one? Let's go back. Oh, that's a Star Wars one from May the 4th. So let's go to this gun one. Who wins this gun battle? The father's harmonica gun or the son's 1911? What do you think? Yeah, everybody's voting for the son's gun, of course. Who's winning this one? The AA-12 full auto 12 gauge or The AR-10. That's a good one. I don't know. Oh, the AR-10 is winning by not even kidding around. It's just wailing on it. So now you got the Tech 9 9mm polymer Swiss gun, or you got the M3 stamped metal US gun in 45 ACP. Oh, look, just like a World War, the grease gun won it. And then you got an Uzi versus a Draco. This is a standard Draco, not any kind of mini Draco or micro Draco, just a regular old Draco. And an Uzi, not a micro Uzi or a mini Uzi, just a regular old Uzi. I think the Uzi's going to win. 11 votes. Oh, the Uzi won handily, which is odd because Draco's got quite a following. We can go into this one here if you want to go play this real quick and try to influence what's happening. You're not going to be able to, but you can try. Who wins this war? The folding Glock? Actually, folding Glock. No, wait. Folding stock. Folding, not stock either. It's a folding pistol brace or the extending pistol brace. So one that folds and still has a giant contraption behind it, or one that always just has a giant contraption behind it. I don't even know which one's going to win. 11 votes. Folding wins. It's kind of obvious. So next is a BMG versus an M16. There's 12 votes on this one, so it gets even more votes than regular. And this one is going to be pretty easy. 50 is going to win because everybody votes for the bigger bullet, just the way it is. Then you get the dumb 22 Ruger versus the revolver 22, which is super finicky. Which one are you going to get? Finicky revolver or a finicky semi-auto? A semi-auto that's not satisfying or a revolver that's not satisfying? 11 votes. Not satisfying. Somehow the semi-auto wins, and that's wrong. That's just not correct. So now we'll go back to a tactical quiz. This whole time there's been links to Patreons. So the whole idea of this show is for Patreons to go in. Not necessarily just because we have all these new firearms quizzes that you can't even get to because they're still locked, Patreons only, until we do a live show like this. But we have a whole nother thing going on for the Patreons this week. But we needed 2 captains and we needed 2 teams and we didn't get any. So we're just going back and rehashing old ones. Now we're going to gun movies in 1984. This gives you some idea of movies we're going to be talking about. The night of the Comet, Hector first appears at the radio station with what kind of firearm? So now you don't get a choice. Now this people over here, the people that are wiggling. Sorry if you're getting seasick from this, but it's necessary to show everybody else who I'm talking about. Y'all got to answer this without knowing. Oh, snap. A revolver. Nice. So, Jetfire, Ivor Johnson, Security 6, or Model 19. Definitely not this. Ivor Johnson revolver is what DJ says. So that's how we're going to play it from now on. The first answer is going to win, and then, well, not going to win, but your first answer is going to be picked, and then we'll be able to blame you if you get it wrong. So the chick in Police Academy carries, I didn't even put the name of the movie in here. I guess you just have to know. So in the Police Academy, the girl carries the firearm issued to the cadets. What is it? What is the gun issued to the cadets in Police Academy, the original Police Academy from 1986 or whatever year this is, 1984? DJ hogging it and says Smith & Wesson Model 10. I don't think that's right. Terminator, 1984, the good one. The robot, he's really an android. No, wait. No, he's a robot. Has an AMT hardballer. No, he's a cyborg. Wait, is he a cyborg? No. I don't think he is a cyborg. He doesn't have human in him. He just has skin on him, which doesn't make him a cyborg. So Terminator robot has an AMT hardballer, 45 long slide, with what brand of laser? What brand of laser is on the 45 long slide pistol? I guess I can go over to here and do this. DJ saying it's a surefire. The movie Tank featured what model of tank? What model of tank was in the movie Tank with Rockford Files? Rockford Files and the guy from Taps had a tank. What kind of tank was it? Does anybody remember this movie? It's from 1984. Sherman. So we're going to go next. So far, DJ is horking this whole thing. We've got Ghostbusters contained instructions on how to build what kind of gun. So by watching the movie Ghostbusters, you learned the instructions on building what kind of gun. What kind of gun in the movie Ghostbusters where there are detailed instructions on how to build. You could just watch the movie and learn how to build this and then go to Home Depot and build the gun in less than 15 minutes without any training or any money. And all you have to do is, yeah, exactly, ghost gun. Boom. Buckaroo Banzai, what kind of gun does he carry? He carries a gun. What kind of gun does Buckaroo Banzai carry from The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai in the Fifth Dimension? Or is it the Eighth Dimension? No, I think it's the Eighth Dimension. Nuke Photon Blaster? No, that's not even an option. Is it? No. Is it a Beretta Tomcat? Is it a Colt SSA? Is it a Colt 1908? Or is it a Colt 1911 A1? Oh, maybe you're talking about the Ghostbuster show from before. That was the last question. We're on this question now. Buckaroo Banzai, Adventures in the Eighth Dimension. So here's the other thing. You don't have to watch all these movies, but if you haven't watched Buckaroo Banzai, then what the hell? Come on. What the hell? Say? What, does DJ just working this whole thing? Everybody else is just watching DJ. DJ's the, I don't know, Will Chamberlain, is that a basketball player of this game? Which of the following guns is not? Which of these guns is not in the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? Which is the first Indiana? Wait, no, it isn't. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is the sucky second version of Indiana Jones, which sucked. So in the 1984 sucky version of Indiana Jones, I think the beginning of this one, is this the beginning of this one when he was a Boy Scout? Then that was good, but the rest of the movie was not good. What guns are not in this movie? A Colt 1911, Smith & Wesson Model 10, a Webley Mark III revolver, or a Thompson M1928 A1. Which one is not in the worst? No, probably the third is the worst, right? So the second worst Indiana Jones, which gun is not in it? Is it too difficult for some people? Some people have to sit this one out. Not DJ, he's saying Model 19, which isn't even on here, so whatever. Glock, oh, trying to be funny. Trying to impress people in New York with your funniness. It's not going to happen. All right, we're just going to move on. So nobody's even answering that one. So then we get a movie called Johnny Dangerously. Some people like this movie more than me. Danny Verman has a long-barreled Colt New Service revolver with black pearl grips. In what caliber? This was made before all the kids went crazy, so they made jokes and stuff about things that you wouldn't want to make jokes about. But what caliber is the gun that they were making the jokes about? There was something about this gun that was unique in this slapstick, exaggerated comedy. 45 Colt? No. It's not a 45 Colt. All right, I guess we're going to just have to say next. What would Daddy have bought them in Night of the Comet? What would Daddy have bought them in Night of the Comet? One of the best scenes in Night of the Comet. Turns out when you go to LA and you try to go to where that scene was filmed, it doesn't exist anymore. So that sucks. Kind of lame. They tore down that whole road that they were on when this scene happens, and you can't even go there. So if you had ideas of hiring a cheerleader and some chick in a sweater to go hang out and use the guns that Daddy would have bought them and take pictures there, it wouldn't be able to happen because that road doesn't even exist anymore. don't even watch movies. That's too bad for you. In 1984, you didn't watch movies because in 1984 there wasn't a lot of other things to do. You could watch movies on weekends and be part of the overall culture, or you could go to maybe concerts, or you could not do any of that kind of stuff, I guess, and then just get really good at a trade craft or something. But in 1984, there wasn't a lot of group recreational activities other than going to movies or some sort of old fashioned square dance or something like that. I guess you could go to a butter churning. That was a lot of fun in 1984. Go churn butter as a group. Not that everybody took turns on the same butter. Everybody had their own butter. It's just that you'd all bring your own butter and churn it. Cows thought it was kind of weird. They do all, you never know what cows were doing during the butter churning. Yeah, well, 1984. You could have been watching this movie. Night of the Comet is a fundamental movie that everybody should watch. First off, if you think you've seen zombie movies, then you don't even freaking know. Like, zombie movies are pale, lame garbage compared to Night of the Comet. It's one of the best movies ever. All right, nobody knows, so we're just going to go on to the next one. It's sad. So now you have the opportunity to go watch Night of the Comet and learn about one of the coolest things that you could learn about, which is the movie Night of the Comet. On the other hand, this movie's not that good. Some people like it. I don't like it that much. Police Academy 1984 cadet Eugene Tackleberry brings what caliber gun from home? So, Police Academy was a buffoonery, lampoon-ish movie about the police academy, kind of like Airplane was for airplane travel or commercial airplane travel, or Navy SEALs was about the Navy. No, wait, was Navy SEALs the real one? No, Navy SEALs was the funny one, right? Or was Navy SEALs real, or was it a funny one? I can't remember anymore. There was a funny one about the SEALs, and it was like that movie. Night of the Comet was a mall movie? No. I don't know about that. No. There was a portion of it that took place in a mall, but that was just because in the 80s we had malls. What are you gonna do? 44 Magnum. We got 32, 38, 44, or 454. So y'all are saying 44. And now we go to the results. So it's over. So you're not going to win because there's a couple of them you didn't even answer. Night of the Comet, Ivor Johnson. DJ's cheating because he already took this test. Smith & Wesson Model 10, cheating. 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 Cheated. Had cheated. Didn't answer. Didn't get around to it. It should have been 88 Magnum. None of y'all, you're all lazy. You didn't cheat. You're just lazy on this one. Daddy would have bought us Uzis. And if you don't know what that is, then again, I can't help you. You got issues. You can solve your issues by watching the movie Night of the Comet, though. It's probably free. Is it free on YouTube? Here, you want to see what happens if I try to go to YouTube and look for stuff like that? Look how slow my internet is. This is that new internet. So, Night of the... How do you spell comet? With one M? Movie. Come on. Night of the Comet movie. Oh, look how slow this is. Is this really how slow my internet is? Yeah. This would be $50 if I keep this internet. I'm not paying $50 for this. This is super slow. Oh, well, I can't show you that link, but I can show you this 1 minute trailer, right? We can all look at a trailer, I think. Not this garbage. We're not going to have to subject anyone to this garbage. This guy just horked this house and then started renting it to people, from what I understand. I never actually watched the commercial, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
What it would be like to be one of the last people on Earth.
We're talking Ghost Town!
What would you see?
There's nobody. I mean, there's nobody.
What would you do?
Hey, I'm sorry if the end of the world makes me a little nervous.
Where would you go?
The stars are open!
Well, get ready to find out, because the comet is coming into your orbit.
The legal drinking age is now 10, but you will need ID. Let's be real.
It's the Night of the Comet.
What are you getting me if I come back?
Texas?
Night of the Comet.
I'll be taking requests from all you teenage Comet zombies.
The night the teenagers ruled the world. Night of the Comet.
The burden of civilization is on us.
Fiction, isn't it?
It was pretty good. It had everything. It had Mac 10s, it had cheerleaders, and you had to repopulate the world. It was a tough job back in the 80s, but we were willing to take it on. I think we're allowed to show a thing like that. It didn't pull me off the air.
I think we're allowed to show.
What happened? Pause this. Click. There we go. Click. All right. Police Academy and 44 Magnum. Boom. That was it. Look at the bottom of all of our sites. We say thanks to the Patreons, make it possible to do what we're doing. And then we got a link over here to people that do stuff and organizations that make stuff happen. Every time you reload the page, watch. And you go down here, it's going to be different. Different people doing stuff and organizations making things change. Looks like Dick is saying that it's not a quiz on real stuff. Oh, well, then go over here and find one that's on real stuff. EDC. Oh, that's not available yet. Let's see. We got the basic one we already did. You got your Second Amendment quiz. So most people aren't going to be able to figure that one out. It's too tough for them. Second Amendment organization, also too tough for most people. Probably an advanced level quiz. Shooting range knowledge quiz. I don't know. You might be able to challenge yourself with that one. It's an intermediate level quiz. Gun movies in 1986. You had a taste of our gun movies in 1984. Can you survive gun movies in 1986? You'll only know if you try. State gun law quiz. You probably won't get that. It's too much for most people. Red Dawn quiz. Most people haven't seen the movie Red Dawn, and that's why there's two different kinds of people in the world, and that's the rift that they're always out there messing with. Let's see. What is Brooke going live? It's lame if DJ just books out of here and doesn't tell anybody that Brooke's going live. So we're gonna slowly go over to where subscriptions are. And eventually we'll get to upcoming live streams scheduled for 6. No, we got 2 hours. So DJ just ditched out of here for other reasons. So this is the show that you're going to want to watch next. This show only exists to fill time before that show happens, to entertain people. But we'll put the link out here so you can go to that show, which is better. The night before a match. So it looks like you're going to be talking about shooting strategies for sports. And maybe applying that to suicide awareness. All right, we're going back over here. If anybody wants to play another one, we got time. It's 40 minutes in. We could give this an hour. DJ left, and he was the one working all the answers. So now does somebody else want to try winning? There's a link out there in the Patreons for Patreons to jump in. We needed 2 captains to play the actual game today, the 10mm quiz, which is not an online quiz like this. But we sat around for a little while waiting for people to join in. They didn't. So now we're just doing this version by going in and playing some of the online quizzes that we've played live on past Wednesdays. So let's go play this ammunition quiz. We got 2 of them. This one is the one that's live. 223 and 308 and the 44 Magnum, they were all invented in the same year. What year were they invented in? Do you know the 223 and 308 and 44 Magnum were all invented the same year? People who have not seen Red Dawn should be slowly asked to leave, but up lately. Well, that's a good way to do it. Like tap them on the shoulder and just let them know that it's time to go. DK is saying 1950s. So we'll go with that one. Which is the older large handgun caliber, the 50 Smith and or 500 Smith and Wesson, or the 50 Action Express? I do need to log in here and change these into ands instead of ampersands because it screws up the formatting, obviously. And I forgot about that when I built. Well, I didn't know about it when I built the whole thing, and I haven't gone back to edit that. But I'll eventually go back and edit these things so that they don't look goofy and they just say the word "and" in between them. So, which is the older large handgun caliber, 50 Smith, 500 Smith & Wesson, or 50 Action Express? The first answer came from MC and said 50 is older. The way I have this set up is you do not know the answer right away because we play these live, and the way we play it, this way there's nobody knows the answers. And then at the end, it tells you your score. So you can play these at home anytime you want. Just go to that link, play them all you want. It's free because of our Patreons make it possible. Let's see. They made it possible for me to create these things because we made these up for the show. And then once we play it, we just leave them available so anybody can play them. They're really for live conversations. If somebody's having a topic block, they don't have nothing to talk about, head over, grab a quiz and start playing it, and that should give you some topics of conversation. So the U.S. Army adopted its first bolt-action service rifle with smokeless powder cartridge in 1892. All right, so the Army adopted its first bolt-action rifle with the first smokeless powder cartridge. That was in 1892. What caliber was that? What caliber was it? We got 2 for 4570 government. I know Kingpin chose it because it's got government in there, and he said earlier government is always right or something like that. I believe earlier he was quoted as pronouncing that something to the effect precisely of saying that come on, man, really, it should have been a lot faster. I'm pretty sure he said something earlier, didn't he? Maybe, no, could have, but he maybe. See, this doesn't happen if there was people in here. We wouldn't have done this. Dang, that took forever. It took a long time. All right. What round was the 30-40 Craig designed to replace in 1892? Isn't that frustrating? You can go like this. If you were playing, you could go like this. But you're not playing. I'm playing. So what caliber or what round was the 30-40 Craig designed to replace in 1892? Was it the 58 caliber, the 4570 government, the 50-70 450 cartridge, or the 45 ACP? So the 30-40 Craig came around in 1892. Just before Biker Bob was born. Gizzard Gary was a little kid running around. You might remember. 4570 is what John Brown is saying. Keep going. I finally figured out how to put a picture in here. Look at that. Who were the inventors of the 357 Magnum in 1934? So in 1934, 2 dudes were like, let's make the 357 Magnum. And they're like, all right. And then they did. Who were them 2 dudes? David Carbine Williams and Philip Sharp. By the way, every single person in this list is a gun inventor, or is a bullet inventor of some sort, some kind of a cartridge inventor. Was it William Moore and John Pedersen? Was it Elmer Keith and Philip Sharp? Or was it Perry Arnett and Jorge Luger? Jorge Luger, I think is the way they say that. So if you're thinking of the guy that invented the 9mm that everybody loves so much, his name is pronounced. Yeah, in his actual language. David Carbine Williams. Next, who was the inventor of the 44 Magnum? 44 Magnum, pictured here on a cool piece of graph paper. See how cool that is? Because same piece of graph paper, same grid size. Dang, somebody took a lot of effort to do that. You know who did that? Me. You know why? Because Patreons make it possible to work on projects like this. No idea, and I own a 357. I don't think most people know who invented their cartridges, though, so that's all right. Elmer. John Brown was the first one to say it. Elmer. Go to next. Go to next. Which is the older semi-auto pistol caliber? So which of these two calibers, and please excuse the ampersand issue, it's a coding issue I'll be working on. Which is the older semi-auto pistol caliber? The 40 Smith & Wesson, a lot of classy people's favorite caliber, or the 357 SIG, a lot of snooty people's favorite caliber? Is it the classy 40 Smith & Wesson? Or is it the obnoxious 357 SIG? The slightly pretentious 357 SIG? Or the lovable and capable 40 Smith & Wesson? First one, Kingpin, 40. I'm pretty sure Kingpin answers 40 for everything. 40 runs strong. Next is Winchester's 1866 Yellow Boy, very sexist gun. Lever action rifle. We're chambered in what caliber was the 1866 Yellow Boy? 22 longer rifle, 44 Henry, 44 special, 44-40. So it's either 22 or 44 of a different variety. We got a lot of 40s, but that is answers from the last one, which we already got. There's a wicked lag. This is the kind of lag we're talking about, and that's why we invite, see this here, you're not gonna be able to see it, but whoop, that was the link to join this. That link is over with our Patreons. Our Patreons are the 150-ish, it's usually 150 to 152 or so, 154 sometimes, 150-ish people that make it possible for me to keep my van. I'm paying off a van bill because I bought the damn van and paying off the stupid transmission on it still. Make it possible for us to do the Daily Gun Show every single weeknight. We do the Gun Channels Network. So Gun Channels doesn't exist the way it used to because that was a tremendous cost and effort, but the network is still there. We attempt to keep people connected with each other through that. Our 2A history projects include books and posters and taking our information that we research and getting it out there in creative and new ways. The Minuteman University project, which is, this one website over here that we started in 2014 when the Arizona Citizens Defense League basically tasked me with doing it and then left me to do it by myself. And I said, all right, I'll just do it by myself because I don't need you. And then it's a resource for Second Amendment advocates for both skills and resources. And we take those resources and put those into publications and into posters and into visual aids, of course, on all the different social media platforms and stuff like that. So those 150 or so people make it possible for us to do what we're doing. And I don't got to ever say stuff like, oh, what you should buy is this stupid flashlight or some piece of crap grip angle or a new kind of coating for your front sight. Or you got to get a $700 red dot because they're so awesome, because I hate red dots and I can say it because I'm not obligated to nobody. I really appreciate that. So now that gave time for people to answer. John Brown is coming up with, or no, I guess the first question, the first one is the one we're going with, 22 long rifle. No, I definitely appreciate the people that Patreon lets me throw the link out there and have one thing to point at, but it's a good point. And I do appreciate the people that make it possible for us to do what we're doing, because again, that's how we're doing what we're doing. Let's see. So next after 22 long rifle is what was the first type of rimfire ammunition? So we know who invented the first rimfire ammunition, right? But what type was it? Was it a round nose, an RN? Was it a BB cap or a bullet breech? Was it a hollow point, an HP? Or was it a copper jacketed hollow point, a JHP? So we know that the first type of rimfire ammunition existed, but what type was it? And I'm going to take a drink of water. You're just going to have to listen to it because I don't feel like running a commercial. I'm also allowed to honestly say that when you buy inexpensive things, expect inexpensive results out of it. So I still recommend buying a decent quality thing if you're going to buy it. A round nose and a BB cap. Interesting, but we're going with round nose. AK Lover was the first one. Johnny Rowland at the Johnny Rowland Shooting Show invented the 460 Rowland in what year? So Johnny Rowland had a shooting show, the Johnny Rowland Shooting Show, and that was recorded on VHS tape in the 1990s and 2000s, and it was distributed through satellite TV to people with satellites in their backyard or on their roofs. And it was a show focused on firearms, and it was awesome. It was basically a really good YouTube channel back in the day. They had segments for the gun owners of America, and what's his face, Larry Pratt would come on way back in the day before Eric's dad was old and he was still young, and the Gun Owners of America was still brand new. Well, only 20 years old, I guess, still. So, or 15 years old at that point. Still very long time ago. They had the NRA stuff on. They would have some stuff from a couple of different organizations, I guess the best way to say it. And then they focused on gear reviews and stuff. They go to SHOT Show. Johnny Rowland's freaking super cool. Now he lives here in Tombstone, and I think he just goes around being awesome. So 1998 is the answer from MC. I think we're going to do pretty badly on this one. So you can tell how many people did not watch this one live, and this is what happens when DJ isn't here to answer all your questions for you. So 223 and all that stuff, 223, 308, and 44 Magnum were all invented in 1955. That was a good one. The older of the two calibers was the 50 Action Express in 1988. The 500 Magnum was in 2003. So they were about a 5-year split there. The Army adopted the first bolt-action service rifle with a smokeless powder cartridge. It was the 3040, and it replaced the 4570. So the 4570 was sooner. 3040 Craig came along and replaced it. However, I don't think it lasted that long. Then who are the inventors of the 357? That one you picked because you liked the sound of their name. Well, guess what? If you like the sound of Elmer and Philip more, then you would have been closer to being right on that one. Elmer also invented the 44. So the same guy that invented the 357 with this other guy also invented the 44 by himself. So he was like, I like this Magnum, but you know what? I'm going to add a couple of numbers to it and make an even bigger Magnum. Somebody was talking crap because I was talking crap about Rugers. I don't think any of these guns would exist without Rugers. Rugers made their guns so big. Where was it? Defense Dad? How far long ago was that? When was I talking shit about Rugers in this show? I don't have a problem with Rugers. The guns are okay. They just write too much stuff on them. They're way too heavy. And that dude didn't like 10-round magazine, or only like 10-round magazines, and that's not a infringement I can get down with. But yeah, you're right. Rugers are decent guns. There's Defense Dad. Yeah, Defense Dad, one of the co-hosts of Thunder on the Prairie that just ended up in Nebraska last weekend. You just missed it. This Elmer Keith guy invented both of those Magnums. Next is, which is the older semi-auto pistol caliber? The 40 is indeed 4 years older. The 357 SIG, the more pretentious caliber, was invented 4 years later in 1994. So basically, in 1990, they invent the 40 Smith & Wesson, and everybody's like, right on, that's the pinnacle, we've hit it, we're done. And all the rich, snooty people were like, nah, we need something that's even more pretentious. So then they had their scientists get to work, And then, of course, SIG was involved. Next, you get the Winchester Yellow Boy. It turns out it was actually 44 Henry. So that's, again, one guy. Is he sabotaging this whole thing? I don't know. The prize was going to be a tub of mayonnaise. So maybe there's a reason why he chose some of these answers. We'll never know. Question 9 was, what was that first type of rimfire ammunition? This was one of the answers, but this one was first. So it turned out it was a BB. Thing is, spoiler, they look exactly the same. So you really wouldn't know unless you knew the name of them. At least they're almost exactly the same. Maybe a BB cap is technically shorter. Maybe. But they look basically the same. Johnny Rowland invented that 460 Roland in 1998. I would have said 1988, but I would have been wrong because now that I think about it, he invented it at the mid to late point in his show, and his show ran through the 1990s. So while his show started in 1988, he didn't invent the caliber until later. He invented the caliber because he's into making stuff and he wanted to do something to give the show more credibility and some more like avenues to work in. So it also helped fund the show because once he got the caliber established, he worked with manufacturers and parts distributors to create caliber conversions for different firearms to make them into 460 Roland. And then he sold those caliber conversions to help fund his awareness and informational firearm show. Johnny Rowland's a freaking hero of communication and sharing stuff. I think he's an unsung hero of firearms communication. He invented a freaking caliber and offered parts so that he could keep his satellite show going to let people know about the message of the Gun Owners America in a time when most people were satisfied with the Charleston Heston from my cold dead hands holding up the musket type of business. Remember, everybody was wearing plaid shirts and Granimal pants or whatever. Let's see. So those are hard. Give us easy ones so we feel smart. See, that's the thing. I didn't make any of my quizzes super easy. I made them easy for people who've been around guns their whole lives, I think, and easy for people who are nerds. But I made them difficult for everybody else because who wants to get handed a softball? Who wants everybody just walk up and hand you something when every once in a while you need something thrown at you that knocks you on your ass? So you have something to work for, and so that once you get used to catching things that are shot at you like a rocket, you're capable and more aware for real conversations that matter. We didn't dig into the Second Amendment quizzes, the Second Amendment organizations, the Second Amendment activists, but guess what? I got quizzes on all that kind of stuff over there. The real goal of this live conversation was to have a live show, to have two captains pick teams, and we were going to have, I'm not going to spoil the game, but we were going to have a different type of game here. We'll keep doing this on Wednesday evenings at midnight Eastern. We go live. Well, we go live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, but on Wednesdays, we play the tactical quiz. Everybody's welcome to join our Patreon. So it's 150 people we mentioned earlier or so. Anybody can be a Patreon. Just like buying us a cup of coffee each month, and then you make it possible for us to do what we're doing. So the tactical quiz is for those folks. They can jump in and they can win stuff. Everybody else can play along and have fun like this. But that was the real goal, is to get some Patreons in here on a Saturday and see if this was a better time slot than that Wednesday time slot. I've asked them a few times when would be a good time slot, but guess what? When you ask 150 people that got lives, when's the best time to do something, they don't get to pick one. And I'm not looking for a time slot that's popular. I'm just looking for a time slot that works for them. So I do appreciate the people that showed up live. This was a bit of an experiment, but we did play a little bit here. The front half was basically just kind of spending some time waiting for people to show up who actually didn't show up. So we still had some fun, but I just wanted to explain again, the real goal here is to do a live gun game show, right? The tactical quiz, after all, tacticalquiz.com. You can go check it out. Oh, I guess it doesn't say it anymore. Somewhere in here it's supposed to say gun games and firearms fun. That's the slogan for the show. The goal is that we can learn stuff by sitting down and studying. We can learn stuff by having conversations about it. We can learn stuff by having some fun also. So that's the goal here, is to just have some fun and change things up a little bit. And again, I'm done explaining it. Thanks everybody who showed up live. Nobody won nothing except bragging rights. First off, you're all winners in my book. So you can all take a gold star and put it on your head or whatever. Also, you all won. Really, you can all say that you won for all the people that didn't show up. You won against them. So you beat them all today. So today already, you've all beat people. And then y'all have to remember that DJ mopped the floor with you earlier and then walked off and sort of, I'm done with this. I need real competitors type of way. So don't think you're all that. You still got people out there that are who can willing to challenge you. So with that in mind, there's a bunch of stuff on the table that are being put there by a bunch of people who'd rather have you pay attention to what they want as opposed to what's really important. So don't just follow, get pissed, use the systems in place to voice your opinion and to master the employees that are at your beck and call. And we'll move past this one. We'll all become stronger. This group of gun owners that's getting abused here in 2022, a bunch of us have been abused over and over. Some of you have been abused before. And then a chunk of you have never been abused before. Give us a couple of months. We're all going to be in the same boat and have some scars and have some awareness and have some commonality and doom on those who attempt to take our rights. So thanks everybody for showing up. And let's see. Let's remember that just a little bit later on today, you might want to check out Suicide Prevention Saturday over on the Great Start Shooting Schools channel. And normally I'd say check out G23. He goes live. Sometimes I would say listen to the Tactical Foss or DM Foss channel, but he's only every other weekend. So yeah, maybe wake up in the morning and listen to Gizzard Gary. Otherwise, we'll be back to pick you up later. Oh, gotta find my commercial here. We'll be back to pick you up later.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
So let us know what you think. We'll be watching the comments wherever you find the video, over on gunstreamer.com or on guntube.org.
Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourages you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com.